disclaimer. Baby, it's time for people to start allowing their money to take them on adventures. Go travel and see the world, whether it's by a cruise ship, by going to a destination resort. People are enjoying themselves. And guess what? They're getting all-inclusive packages so they could turn up with their glass. Now, I was reading this headline. Because normally I mind my own business, but when I read this headline, I said, say what? Ain't no way. Royal Caribbean sued after passenger's death ruled a homicide after that passenger was served 33 drinks. I said, we're blaming the bartender. Ooh, baby, now that's crazy. Now, I bartended a time or two in my lifetime. And I tell you that every state that you live in, you have to go and get your server's license. It's normally TABC, but every state will call it their own thing because it's basically what you have to pour anything, right? And they always teach you, you have to be able to identify when somebody is overserved and underage. Both of those are very primary reasons why you will lose your license and have to pay a hefty fine, and why you may go to jail. Now, the sad part about being a bartender at resorts and on cruise ships is you cannot monitor because there's bars everywhere, upstairs, downstairs, a whoop-de-whoop. You can't monitor how many times they visited other spots. You can only mindfully remember how many times they visited you. But one thing you have to do is make sure that you can see their cognitives. And if it's off and shaky, if their eyes are shaking, if they're sweating profusely, if their words are slurred, if they're belligerent, aggressive, you got to 86 them. Is it 86 or 87? 86 them. You got to cut them off, okay? You got to cut their ugly ass off because it becomes a hazard for them and you. And alcohol poison is real. Now, 33 drinks, that's a lot of goddamn drinks. We know for a fact, I just left the Dominican Republic 3 or 4 days ago. I had an all-inclusive trip in the wedding. I was doing comedy, I was doing hosting for a wedding in a Dominican, okay? We had all you can eat, all you can drink. But baby, I monitored myself. I didn't go and get crazy, because I still respect my kidneys and my liver. Plus, you don't want to be knocked out, asleep, or unbeknownst to you, just walking around and you in a real woozy state of mind, because it's no longer fun. At that point, you're putting yourself in jeopardy to fall aboard over a rail or in the water, whatever, because you're already on, close to oceans, you're close to whatever. It don't matter. You just got to be mindful now. Your friends, your peers are supposed to have your back. Your spouse have your back. You know what I'm talking about? So if you're not yourself and they see that, it shouldn't be, oh, that's just so-and-so. He always, no, this is a different type of atmosphere. You're around other people. So you become a danger to them and to yourself. Now, when I got to reading, because I said, well, who would serve this man 33 drinks? Now, the man that passed away at the tender age of 35 is a husband. His name is Michael. Now, Michael apparently was a bigger guy. So maybe he wasn't feeling the liquor at first. But at some point in the trip, it said that he started threatening people. He started saying things to the nature of he was going to beat up some people. Possibly even use the word kill you, sucker. Anyway, Michael Virgil started to, in the video that you will soon see, he was kicking this door, allegedly. Let's pop that fan because I wasn't there. They say that he was trying to get at the person that was behind the door, which happened to be either an employee or something to that nature. Now, while you're seeing the video play, he's kicking the hell out of this door with some steel-toed boots on. Now, I don't know if he was working on the boat while he was on it, but steel-toe boots are heavy than a mug. He never got into this room by while I'm telling y'all this. But the thing is, everybody around him was nervous. So they were trying to find ways to get him to calm down. Their talking wasn't doing it. So I'm assuming what they did next was they tried to, I think it mentioned that I don't know if they maced him or they did something to try to get him to the ground and restrain him. They probably pepper sprayed him. And then they were trying to restrain him. And at the captain's request, allegedly, because it came from the upper room, they said that they told them to administer him a sedative because they were scared that he was going to kill somebody, Juanita. Okay? Now, his levels of intoxication, I ain't no doctor, but you know goddamn well when you're under the influence, they tell you not to do any type of medicines of any sort because it will do one or two things. It will relax you. Your adrenaline is already pumping because he was pissed the hell off. So his adrenaline is high. The alcohol is a depressant, and then the sedative is going to bring him down too. So he stopped breathing. Now, I don't know if you guys also administered a taser, but if y'all had already pepper sprayed him and he was alive and y'all were able to put his hands down and keep him sit down, why the hell did you need a sedation tool? Was anybody that gave him the sedation stuff a doctor or a clinic in clinics or something? So, in normal state, like my mother says, they always want to sue. They're going to sue. Yes, they have a lawsuit in place right now because at this moment, that man's death is ruled a homicide. They said that he could have possibly died from respiratory failure, impaired ventilation, restraint compression, complications tied to intoxication, and of course now he has a sedation flowing through his veins, okay? They are suing Royal Caribbean, blaming them for being negligent after over-serving and the misuse of sedatives force in calling for accountability. Now, I do not agree with Michael did going after everybody. I do not think that the cruise ship is responsible for over-serving him because from what I was reading in the comments, because I have never been on a cruise, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know. But they said that they normally give you guys drink tickets per day. And once you meet that max, they cut it off. Now, I don't know who's chaperoning to see who's going to give you a drink because they use their own ticket or if you snuck in some liquor the way that y'all do. But overall, they said that they got a limit and they holding you to it. How he got 17 extra tickets or 18 extra tickets, I don't know. But you can't blame the cruise ship, in my opinion, no disrespect to the deceased, because if that one bartender was the who overserved him, then yes, you have a valid case because the cameras would show that he was there, that person knew that they overserved him, they need to be arrested, lose their license. But if he bounced around the cruise ship and hit different stations, how would y'all hold the bartender accountable if they don't know what his starting and ending number of drinks are? Like I said, he was with his peers, his family, his lover. Where were their, antennas when they saw that he had been drinking that excessively? They had just left the island. So what was going on with him that he's like, I got to turn the hell up this quick? Was the drinks weak? What was the drink of choice so I can know? Was it Long Island's? Because if y'all was serving him 33 Long Island's, it makes sense why he was turned up like Incredible Hulk mixed in with a superhero. But if it was just certain smaller drinks, beers, and things like that, after he peed, he probably went through that. The bigger you are, it takes a longer time to go through your bloodstream, so he probably didn't feel it at that moment. Whatever set him off to make him cock off to want to hurt people and threaten people, push people, and make people scared of him, that is a problem. Had he lived, he would be going to jail. Now that he's deceased, the family wants answers. The only thing that I would say that y'all was out of line on was giving him the sedation medicine, because again, he was already under the influence. You cannot mix those two. They're doing two completely opposite things, and you don't know what his pre-existing health conditions are. So to give him something like that, and you ain't no type of medical profession, yes, they might win this lawsuit. I ain't even gonna hold you because, Captain, come here. Come talk to us. Was that protocol? Was that in the rules and regulations? So y'all got to tighten up now on y'all drink tickets. So Michael put it in action that now people are going to say, you know what? We are definitely going to have to think about this. Because not only if he did not kick down that door or attempt to fight somebody, he could have fell over into the ocean being that intoxicated. Y'all, it's time to have fun, but you got to still be mindful that you grown. You have to be accountable for you too. And it stings because that woman doesn't have a husband. If they have children, they don't have a father now. But at the same speed, everybody in this story played a role in this man's death. down to the family and friends, down to the person serving, down to the person sticking him with the sedan. Everybody's responsible. Who's going to win the lawsuit? I don't know. But baby, y'all got to do better. I get it. We all need a break, a vacation, whatever you call it. But baby, if you can't, and I tell people this, sometimes I sit back and watch people I know, and y'all get one drink and y'all be acting weird. I be like, ooh. So start telling people, yo, bro, you need to take a break. I had to cut somebody off at a wedding not too long ago. I said, well, damn, you drinking your problems away? He was like, can I have a little more? And I was like, damn, bro, like, it's an open bar for 5 hours. Why are you drinking like this in the first hour? I said, look, I'm going to have to cut you off until you sober up. And he was like, I appreciate it. At the end of the night, he said, I appreciate it. Of course, he was disappointed with me, but I'm never going to put a tip over your life. Like, the money is not more important than your health and you getting home to your family, because I gotta get home to mine. So everybody in this cruise ship situation is responsible some way. I hate somebody died, but he was alive when you guys restrained him. So why was that restraint not enough? Was he still able to, were y'all not able to lock his hands up like zip time? What made y'all say, get the liquids and stick them? Because y'all already had him sitting down on the ground. Where was his wife at? Man, we need you to come talk to him, whisper in his ears. Okay? But again, y'all taking this cruise stuff and this going to destination island stuff out of control. Y'all act like y'all ain't never been there before. Now this family has to deal with this long-term hearing and relive this devastating situation that should never escalated if people would have just said, cut them off. So if you see or hear yourself in this story that I'm talking about, take it light. Drink water, okay? Now, I hope to hear more about this. Again, I hate delivering stories with sad endings, but these are the things that this is why rules go enforced in the first place, because of situations that you never think will happen that does. I would love to go on a cruise ship. I'm just fearful of water, but if I do, I don't want to be around a bunch of people that can't maintain or handle their liquor or take accountability that they might have a drinking problem, okay? So everybody in the story, ugly ass is responsible. May he rest in peace, and whoever wins this lawsuit will win it. Whoever loses it will lose it. Because at this point, y'all really kicking it too hard, okay? But baby, I'm just a messenger. It's your girl, Shaunie B. If you cool with your girl, go on food with your girl. Make sure you check out my website. Yes! www.shauniebeentertainment.com. Check out the fan gear. You got options to drop donations, but there's never any pressure to do either of the two, because I do see the likes, the shares, the comments means the world to me. So I just want to tell you thank you from my lips to your ears for rocking with me, because y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me. Now let's hop in the comments. Like I said, for me, again, I bartended a time or two. 33 drinks is excessive, but more importantly, as a bartender that served him up to the limit of the 15 or 16, whatever Royal Cruise Ships calls your max out for the day, I know he had to been showing signs of intoxication. I need to see the autopsy and hear what the autopsy results bring back. What was his BAC levels? Because if it was 3 or 4 times over the limit, then yes, you are going to have probably some of that lawsuit earned by the family, because that's crazy. However, it was so many factors that was played into this that could have been the preventing factor to where he could still be here. But y'all got to take it easy. And I know there are some hurt people, and I know there's some people that's mad, and they were on the other side of it where they could have been a victim with his outrage and his outburst. But baby, at the end of the day, y'all, you as the adult have to be accountable for your actions. You can't always blame everybody when you are the person that are allowing you to go to this new stage of you that's not the best version of you. Now, when you get belligerent, people are scared for their lives. So guess what they're going to do? The next steps to put you in a restraint. And you may lose your life because you're angry. You're mad. Adrenaline is pumping. And then you start having problems breathing. So once they figure out that they can't resolve this in a I want to talk to you way, then they are going to beef up what they call their security, and they're going to try to put you down. However down is down is. But I don't want you to be on the other side of it to where you die to figure out that it should have never escalated. Whew, this story gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. But there's going to be a lot of new rules implemented. But we're going to stay tuned to the next episode. But until next time, next story. And I'm out this. Peace.